Hey, I wanted to post this morning to share the parts of the journey that are not fun. I am Angel. I am still an eagle, and I am in a really deflated place right now. I woke up this morning, and many of you, or some of you that go through cancer, know the many side effects. And the truth is, I'm on so many different drugs, different treatments, and all these different things that it really can mess with your emotional place, I think. For instance, like last week, I had that CyberKnife radiation procedure for the brain, and that has side effects and symptoms all by itself. And in the meantime, I'm taking capecitabine, which is a drug that I take like 5 days on and 5 days off. It's really intense, that one. And while I was going through the radiation, I actually just started that cycle. And like I said, that drug is intense. And then when I stop taking the drugs after the 5 days, there's like this little bit of recovery period, you know? And like I said, it's hard to explain to people that have not been through chemo and all of the things. But, and then on top of that, like for a woman's cycle, it's just like so many different things happening in the body. And, I feel like sometimes we give comfort in knowing our body. But I feel like ever since I've had cancer, the knowing of my body is never stable, it's never known. And so when I start a new drug or a new treatment or have a new experience, there's this period where I'm like, what is this? What is this? It sucks, but is it a normal suck? It's my daughter. Is it a suck? Is this a normal suck? Because for me, a headache for most people is just like, oh, I just have a headache. Let me take some Advil. For me, a headache could mean that a tumor has grown or that there's some issue in the brain. And so it's just one of those places that I just feel like it's so constant. It's such a constant overwhelm. And when you're emotionally not feeling high, or I woke up this morning and prayed with my husband, and normally that does it. This morning, not so much. I mean, it's like I know, it's like being able to recognize, God is still with you even when you feel bad. That's one thing, but it doesn't take away from the journey of just suffering and hard. And today I'm just like, that freaking sucks. Today I'm giving myself the space to just be in it, because where else can I be? I don't have a lot of energy today. Later I am going to force myself to get up. Sometimes like I'm in so much like nausea. I woke up, I had trembling in the night. I could feel my body like just kind of shaking. I've just got a lot of things on my mind and my heart. And yeah, I'm like, standing up, walking around, overrated. It's one of those days where you put your one foot in front of the other. And it's like crazy, because I feel like in my life, I hold on to two realities all the time. One, I am experiencing just this journey of cancer, the symptoms, the reports, the side effects, the feeling that goes there, and all of that reality is true. And, some religious people are like, just ignore that. It's only this. And I'm just like, you ain't been through nothing if that's your answer. So this is real. This is true. I'm experiencing this. It totally sucks. It's really hard. And on the other hand, I hold this space where it's like, man, but God, you're so good. And you've kept me this far. I've had 3% chance to live, and was they thought I would have been gone a long time ago, yet you keep opening doors for me to still be here. I've been at death doors like 4 or 5 times. You keep sending me back. You keep putting me back in. Here I am. What is it you want to do? And in the meantime, I'm seeing like just this heavy reality, but there's also this other reality of joy in life. And then it's like, but there's still tears. There's still tears. There's still tears. Like there's still grief. There is still like, God, I need you to come through. There's still the waiting for the manifestation of freedom and healing for me. It's like, I haven't just accepted this reality. I have to be with what is while it is what it is. But it's like, I still hold the space and still pray for healing every day and for the manifestation of God's kingdom to change things for me, and even have to accept the reality, like, who was it? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the Bible, who would not worship the king's god or his idol. And, they came and they were like, you have to, this is Angel's translation, but, you have to worship. And they're like, no, we won't. And they were like, well, we're going to throw you in the fire or whatever. And they're like, God has the power to save me, to save us. But even if he doesn't like decide to, we're still not going to serve your God. Like, that's where I stand. It's kind of like, I'm trusting and know God's power. I've prayed for people that have been free from cancer, mental illness, all kinds of things like that. And I've watched God's power come. And then for me to have walked through this for 10 years and not see the boom that I've seen happen with prayer and with God's power, it works on you. It works on you. And then to be like, yes, but God isn't done yet. And sometimes there's other things that God is doing. And I might not know him. His thoughts ain't my thoughts. His ways aren't my ways. I don't know. It doesn't take him time to do all these different things. Yet I'm still here experiencing these suffering. And to still wrap my head around that and be like, I choose to set my mind on the fact that God is good. And this is a really freaking hard day. It's like both of those are real. And I actually have chosen not to do more of a religious platform, because I find that in religious structures, there's no space for process. There's no space for heart. It's like my heart is having an experience. My soul is having an experience. Yes, the spirit is got its perfection, its perfected reality, but I'm still walking through this thing, and I still need to care for my heart and my soul along the way. And today is one of those days where it's just like heavy with tears. So for anybody that is like me, that is going through, that knows the goodness of God, but is also walking just a really intense path of suffering, a moment of suffering, just take heart and be okay in it, And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to honor this space with my tears, and I'm going to open myself up to just rest. I'll probably start moving around later today, but gosh, this road is intense for the eagles who are finding a way to fly above the storm, yet it still doesn't change the fact that you're in a war and you're a warrior. All the contradictions, it seems, but it's not contradictions. They all flow together somehow. It's like, I'm in war, yet I'm rested. I'm in peace, yet there's storm flying tornadoes all around me. It's just interesting. It's like, in order to live, I need to die to my ego, right? Gosh, it's a new life means the cutting off of something. And all of that is real and true. And I just try to make space for it all.